What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Couple Things.
With Shawn and Andrew.
Today's a fun one. We are talking about failing fantastically.
That's right. We're going to be talking about our biggest failures and hopefully what we've learned from those failures.
Which is actually funny because I feel like this is a theme through a lot of the podcasts that we have had, a lot of the interviews we've had, and talking about both of our upbringings. I think one of the greatest things that we were ever taught by both our parents and a lot of our coaches was that failure was a good thing.
Yeah.
Like it's part of the learning process. I do feel like in today's culture, we're kind of getting away from that. People don't think it's okay to fail. Like cancel culture, I feel like is the opposite of failing fantastically.
Yeah. I would say it seems like there's a good way to fail
Yes.
and a bad way to fail. And the difference is, do you reflect on it? Do you learn the lesson?
Yes.
And then try to avoid that same failure moving forward. But we do feel like failure isn't something to avoid. It's really something that you should welcome because it means you're trying, you're pushing the limits of what you know and where you're comfortable. And I feel like it's where resilience, confidence, and growth are all built from. One of the benefits of getting older as we're in our mid-30s is you start to build repetitions and you start to have seen the resume of failures, maybe pivot into good lessons that you've learned. This was kind of the heart of my podcast, Redirected, was like, hey, not everything works out the way you think it will, but are you able to pivot? Are you able to learn? Are you able to grow? So we just thought we'd get vulnerable and share some of our biggest failures.
Yes. This is also something we're trying to teach our kids heavily.
That's right.
We want to encourage them to fail. We want them to not feel like they need to be embarrassed by it or set back by it. Like it actually is a beneficial thing to experience.
That's right. I feel like the most meaningful seasons in our life have been full of failure.
Yeah.
You know?
I would also say, especially with our kids and how we have started to raise them, I feel like I have noticed that they do handle failure well. There aren't many times with our kids that we're seeing like a massive frustration with like mistakes or being unable to do something. They've really kind of built a resiliency already. I'm just curious now how we take that into the rest of their childhood.
Yeah. And I feel like it's a conversation that a lot of parents are trying to have. And we actually started watching Gabbys Dollhouse, which is a show on Netflix.
It's one of our daughter's favorite shows. She has all the toys.
And what I love about this show is that they talk about that growth mindset. They kind of coined the term failing fantastically. And we had the opportunity to meet the voices behind Gabby and her little sister.
Doozie.
That's right. And Doozie's a new character
Yes.
on this season, which is season 14. And their show is all about embracing mistakes, trying again, and finding creative ways to learn.
In talking about failure and failing fantastically, which our daughter taught us came from Gabbys Dollhouse, we thought what better way to talk about today's topic than to talk to Gabby herself.
It's so fun.
Our daughter is obsessed with Gabbys Dollhouse. There are so many great lessons to be learned from them in the show. I love their scripts. I love everything that show kind of like embodies and what they teach children. So today we actually have the voices behind Gabby herself and her little sister Doozie from Gabbys Dollhouse to talk about the growth mindset, the failing fantastically, and everything that beautiful show has to talk about.
Yeah. And we hope that if you have kids, you'll learn something from these two. And maybe even consider watching the show together as a family. Gabbys Dollhouse is on Netflix. Season 14 is coming out. Has cats, dogs, and a lot of fun characters. So let's jump into this quick interview with Laila and Celestina, who are the voices behind Gabby and her little sister Doozie in Netflix's Gabbys Dollhouse.
I want to thank both of you being, there's a huge announcement this season. I think this is season 14, debuting on September 14th.
Yes.
Gabbys Dollhouse is bringing it. So to start, Laila, you are the vet here. You have been the main character and voice and lead of Gabbys Dollhouse since 2021. Did I get that right?
That's correct.
How did that come about? And tell us a little bit more about why it's such a passion of yours.
It came out, 2021 is when the first season came out, but we started recording in 2019. And it was a really cool journey for me because when I got the audition, I saw it was all about cats and it was from DreamWorks. I was like, those are two of my favorite things ever. So I just had a lot of fun. Like I put my cat in my audition. I had a little puppet panda that I found for Pandy. And I found out that I got the role on my birthday, on my 11th birthday, which was really cool. Since then, it's just become this insane thing where I guess people really have connected and getting to grow with Gabby and like the Gabby's world has been so incredible because there's just so much like great messages about the growth mindset and, you know, failing fantastically that I think are so important. And I feel like having those messages ingrained in me has like helped create this whole wonderful world. It's been really cool.
I love how many wonderful subliminal messages are tied within the show as parents to a 6-year-old daughter who has all the toys from Gabbys Dollhouse and watches all the episodes. I want to thank both of you being. There's a huge announcement this season. I think this is season 14, debuting on September 14th.
Yes.
Gabbys Dollhouse is bringing in some dogs and Gabby's little sister.
We have a big surprise. Yes, this season 14 has got to be our biggest surprise yet because Gabby is getting a little sister who is played by the wonderful Celestina. And I am so excited for everybody to find out.
Do you want to meet my little sister, Doozie? Ta-da!
Hey, Doozie!
The sister fun has just begun. It's an all-new season of Gabbys Dollhouse.
Shawn and I were bored one evening after dinner, and we did a math problem of trying to figure out how many different times Shawn had practiced certain gymnastics moves and how many failures she had before she made it to the Olympics. And it was something like 16,000 repetitions of trying, sometimes failing and sometimes succeeding. But the important part was that she continued to press on and continued learning and growing. And I do love that about the show. But I want to hear about Doozie because we have 2 dogs in our house. We have Oakley, who's a golden retriever, and Nash has been with us now for 13 years, also a golden retriever. But I want to hear about Doozie.
Doozie is just a very fun puppy lover. She's just so energetic and creative. And I would say she's like me because I love having everything upbeat. I love just having fun. I love dogs. But Gabby has really inspired her to be the person she is because Gabby shows her throughout the episodes that it's okay to fail because you could still keep on pursuing, keep on trying. And it's just a really good lesson for Doozie.
I hear there's a lot of new characters being introduced and more surprises coming. But can you tell us about a couple of them?
Yeah, so obviously we have my best puppy pal Puggy and my Cakey, which is Cream Pup.
Doozie and Puggy! Hi, everybody. It's Cream Pup! This calls for a little Puggy Wuggy.
We all are so excited to just shrink into the dollhouse for the very first time. And most of the cats are very welcoming, but there is one little kitty cat that needs a little bit more
I wonder who.
I wonder who it is. But yeah, they just need a little bit more convincing that dogs and cats can coexist in the same room.
I love that. I also love the little outfit that he's wearing with like the polka dots.
Oh yeah,
the
little Puggy is very cute.
I can also see in the future my kids asking for some toys in that style. So
Puggy pajamas.
oh yes. I would say coming from 2 parents who have 3 kids, all I can say is thank you. And we are so excited for this new season. It comes out on Netflix, season 14, September 14th. You have Gabby and her little sister. But we're really excited to watch it with our kiddos, and we are so excited for both of you. Congratulations.
And for those listening who want to watch season 14 of Gabby's on Netflix, you can turn it on September 14th. Is that right? And we'll have a lot of fun characters for you to check out. It helps us get excited to turn something on with the family that we can all watch. And you know that there's some really great takeaways that you can get from the show. And you guys are perfect for that as characters, and all the messaging is amazing. So thank you guys.
I feel so spoiled when we get to talk with those type of people.
I know. Also, it's crazy to me that they're so young and they've done so much, and they're also so wise in their answers. I love to hear the younger generation truly being so intentional in how they impact the generation below them.
Yeah.
And as a parent, it just makes me feel good about some of the stuff that our kids are watching.
Yeah. Maybe help prevent people from failing in really the heart-wrenching ways. I feel like we had some heart-wrenching failures, you know?
We have, which brings us to the meat of this conversation, which is some of our, let's not get too deep here and like really air out dirty laundry, but some of our biggest failures and what we learned from them and how we moved forward from them. So Andrew.
You want me to start?
Obviously.
Okay. Well, the first one that comes to mind, I have a whole list here of my failures, by the way. We won't share all of them. It's a long, extensive list of failures. But as far as our relationship together, there was a lesson that I learned about kind of responsibility and financial stewardship when I was 21. Just came out of college, signed my first professional football contract, didn't know anything about payment terms or timing. And I got a signing bonus from the Chiefs when I signed with them. And I turned around like a week after I signed and bought an engagement ring for all the amount that I got my signing bonus for.
Who'd you buy the engagement ring for?
You. Spent every dime of it.
But had the check hit your bank
Check
yet?
had not hit my bank yet. And I was negative dollars for the first time in my life, which is a stressful place to be. It was worth it, obviously, but definitely a lesson that I had to learn as far as like knowing kind of the cadence of that and really digging into, hey, if you don't have the money in your account, just assume it won't be there maybe, you know?
Yeah. I do think we could really dive into that and talk about finances of like credit and loaned money and like the interest and stuff. So
yeah, which I'm pretty conservative with.
Well, you are, but we don't always have to assume, like you don't always have to spend when the money's there, though that might be a smarter option.
I'm curious to hear the audiences. I'm curious to hear all y'all's take on this, but I do feel like there's a certain aspect of faith and trust of, you know, the Lord's going to dress the lilies of the field. We'll be okay too. Yes. But also, if you don't have the money yet, or if you don't know when it's going to come in, then don't spend
AKA
it.
Our entire career. But I do. I will say I will never forget how stressed you were in that phase. And I'm sorry. You know, it was simultaneously one of the greatest phases of my life, and also maybe the most stressful phase of your life.
I tried not to let that bleed over into how I related to you. Did it? I was stressed.
I knew you were stressed.
I literally think though that the bank account, like the app had like a red number. I was like, oh my gosh, this is stressful. Why'd they have to make it red too? Just like an extra slap in the face.
You know what though? I think something that you learned from that lesson is I'm not sure you've ever put yourself back in that position, which is a beautiful thing.
Thank goodness.
Which is a very blessed thing.
Lesson learned. I've got to tell you guys about something that's been living in my backpack lately. These David protein bars.
I was actually laughing because every time I go looking for one, they are literally gone.
That's because I keep taking them, and they're honestly one of the easiest ways for me to get more protein in during the day. If we're running between meetings, heading to the gym, traveling, or I'm just trying to not grab something random in the afternoon, I'll throw one in my bag.
And if you've listened to this podcast for a while, you know we've talked a lot about trying to prioritize protein. It's not always easy, especially on busy days.
That's why I like David. They're not like most protein bars that sneak in a bunch of extra calories and sugar. They actually have two different kinds now. Their gold bars are kind of my go-to. They pack 28 grams of protein, only 150 calories and 0 grams of sugar, which is honestly wild. And they have this soft, doughy texture I'm obsessed with. They have these little crunchy pieces mixed in as well. And the chocolate chip cookie dough and fudge brownie flavors have been my favorites.
I actually love the new bronze bars. They're a little more dessert-like to me. They have like this marshmallow center with a chocolate coating. Plus, they're still 20 grams of protein, 150 calories, and 0 grams of sugar. The s'mores chocolate crunch one, you guys, it is divine.
The marshmallow texture is really, really nice. And what impressed me is that both bars give you way more protein for the calories than pretty much anything else we found. So if you're trying to stay full, hit your protein goals, or just have something convenient between meals, they become a really easy option for us.
And they're genuinely good, you guys. I feel like that's usually the catch with protein bars. You either get good nutrition or good taste. Somehow, these actually do both.
So if you want to try them, David has a great offer for you. Go to davidprotein.com/EastFam. And when you buy 4 cartons, you'll get the 5th one free. Again, that's davidprotein.com/EastFam.
And if you're more of an in-store shopper, you can also find David nationwide at Target, Walmart, Kroger, Wegmans, and the Vitamin Shop. Just use their store locator to find the closest one near you.
Seriously, if you're trying to get more protein in without loading up on extra sugar and calories, definitely give David a try. We think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Okay, my first one that I want to talk about. I'm going to go progressively kind of through life. I'm going to start back in, I think it was 2nd grade. Isn't it funny how some of these make an impact? 2nd grade, my favorite subject is math. I love it. I love numbers. I love numbers more than anything. My favorite pastime is Sudoku. I don't even know how to say that, even though it's my favorite game. Sudoku. Love numbers. But I'm also highly competitive, kind of to an unhealthy extent. In 2nd grade, we would do these tests, timed tests. And there was incentives for whoever won them got whatever, candy or something. And it was multiplication. So we would go through the multiplication tables. Do you remember that? So
yep.
1 times 9, 1, whatever.
Loved it. It's like a competition. Yeah.
You do your 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, whatever. And it was a competition of who could get through the charts the fastest. And I remember, I don't know why, but the 6 times 7, 7 times 8 always got me. Couldn't figure it out. Couldn't get through that fast. So I cheated. And I wrote those 2 answers in on a tiny little piece of paper inside my desk. Remember the desks, how they opened?
Yeah.
And it was just those. And
I love
those
wrote desks.
Yeah, I love those desks. And went through the whole chart. And it's so funny because I was such a good student. I was teacher's pet, perfect student. And on that, I cheated that one time. And you know what? I got caught mid-test too.
That's a bad feeling.
2nd grade.
It's a bad feeling.
And I will never forget Mrs. Claus, of all names.
That was your teacher's name?
That was my teacher's name. Pulling me out of class. And they had these pods at our school where it had it had phones in them where you would call. And she walked me straight to the phone. And she said, "You will call your mom. You will tell her exactly what you did and you'll have her come pick you up." I will never forget that feeling.
Did it tighten you up after?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a bad feeling.
Really bad. And it's funny. I think I went on to become a even harder worker after that. But that feeling of seeing my mom's face and hearing her voice and knowing now she's at work and, has to leave work because her child did this. That was a really bad failure that I probably would not take back because I learned so much from it. But that was a yucky feeling.
I was going to say that's lower stakes than my failure that I shared, but I think...
Why?
But I think to our point about this episode in general, that redirects you and kind of pivots you to say, okay, we all have these little moments where we'll bump up against the edge of what we're supposed to do or what we should do. And then it's you gotta redirect.
Do we all wish we could go through life and not fail at anything? Absolutely. To a certain extent.
Because it's uncomfortable. I mean, I know that feeling when you say the teacher caught you, you're It's worst.
And there are bad failures in life. I don't want to say there's worse than others, but like, yes, there are worse failures than others. But I truly believe they're only bad if you choose not to change from them. I think they're great compasses in life. I would prefer to have not failed at many things and had to self-reflect on my misgivings, but yet it has made me, all of them, has made me a better human. It's made me a better mom, a better wife, better friend, to have failed bad at things.
Yeah.
And said, dang, I actually don't like how that felt. I don't like how I made someone feel.
Yeah.
And I never want to feel that again.
Because the idea is if you fail often and fail early, then it kind of sets you up for walking down the right path and compounding the right things for the rest of your life, which can result in great things. That's kind of what our book's about.
Yeah.
But do you wish these type of failures on our kids? All right, I got to ask you, what's the one thing you've become weirdly consistent about every morning?
Honestly, I'd say getting outside for a few minutes. Even if it's just sitting on the porch with my coffee before the day gets going, it helps me wake up, it helps me reset, and feel like I've started the day off on the right foot.
Honestly, mine's pretty similar. I hate when travel throws off our routine, especially during the summer, whether we're traveling for work or on the road with the family. I feel so much better when I can stick with the habits that make me feel my best.
That's one of the reasons we've been loving Kachava, because their new travel packs are so convenient. They're so easy to throw in a backpack or a carry-on, and it means that we don't have to sacrifice our routine just because we're away from home.
It's the same all-in-one nutrition shake we've talked about before, just in these super convenient single-serve packs. You get plant-based protein, fiber, greens, probiotics, electrolytes, vitamins, and minerals, omegas as well. Basically everything you need in one delicious shake that's ready to go wherever and whenever you are.
Do you remember when I used to make travel packs out of Kachava with just like Ziploc baggies for you?
I was so grateful.
I love that these are finally here, and I genuinely notice a difference when I do stay consistent with it. I feel more energized, and it's just one of those simple habits that helps me feel my best even when life gets super busy.
Plus, there are 8 flavors now to choose from, including chocolate, vanilla, coffee, strawberry chai, matcha, coconut acai, and chocolate mint is now back as well.
Take your daily ritual with you. Go to Kachava.com and use code EASTFAM for 15% off your first order.
That's Kachava, KACHAVA.com, code EASTFAM. Do you wish these type of failures on our kids?
Yeah.
You do?
Absolutely.
That's hard for me to say because I know how uncomfortable it is.
I know how uncomfortable it is, but it's also, I would not take mine back. I don't wish them upon them, you know? Like, I don't wish for them to have heartache. But I think realistically, I also know that they will fail. And I'm not excited by that. But I also know that if I can be a good enough parent to them in those moments, that we can raise them to be strong enough to get through those and be better for it.
This is a whole different conversation, but parenting in those moments of failures, like what does your mom do when she picks you up after getting a call that you cheated? Is it a stern reprimand? Is it a, hey, I'm glad you learned this gently? I guess it's maybe kid by kid.
I think it's kid by kid. We know firsthand it's kid by kid. I watched the funniest Instagram reel the other day where it was basically like, there are some kids you can't gentle parent.
Yeah.
Because they don't respond to it. But my mom in that situation was she was both stern and gentle at the same time. It was not a massive reprimand, you know. I felt yucky. It felt terrible.
But you want to drive the lesson home?
Yeah, and it was, I can't believe you would do that. I'm disappointed that you did that.
That hurts.
That hurts. Why is that so much worse?
That hurts.
I would rather you be mad than disappointed, you know? But it was enough to drive home the point. What's your next one?
Maybe we should do like 4. Because
Okay.
I have, now that you're saying these stories, they're just starting to pile up. And I'm like, oh man, we could have a long episode here. I thought of this one as you were saying, the academic integrity thing. And part of me is like, man, I wish, like, it's tough when you're not up to the intellectual standard of the class, my freshman year of Andy, I legitimately failed, got an F at the end of the semester, 3 of my first 4 classes in college. And I came out of high school a really good student, had above a 4.0. It was kind of easy for me. College was a whole different game where I feel like in high school, the teacher says everything that you need to know while you're in class. In college, it's not the case. You're supposed to learn, and then you show up to class, and it's kind of like like an overview or a debrief. Yeah. And I just didn't have the reps at like doing the at-home work that it was required. And I was playing football, and I was in a new city. I was trying to make all these new friends, and it's just an overwhelming period. Yeah. Which I think is that freshman year of college is kind of unanimously tough. And I failed 3 of my first 4 classes. My football coach was so upset at me, Coach Caldwell. And I tore my hamstring in football. It was just like a mix of a ton of difficult things. And my lesson there was hey, you got to get up to speed. And there's probably a transition period like I had that first semester, but you can't keep going on the same way you've been going. And as much as I wanted to transfer out of Andy because everything was going so poorly, it's like, no, you stick with it. You make the changes and you press on. And then sure enough, I ended up graduating early from Andy, loved playing football.
With honors, all the things, babe.
But it hurts so bad. And you're like, I remember sitting with my teachers, going to get extra tutoring, trying to do all the things, and it wasn't working. Like I was failing my classes despite me trying to do all these things. And it just is like, it makes you think, well, maybe what if I did just have a little note during the test and like put your feet to the fire a little bit. Anyway.
You just needed a hug.
That's about when we met.
I don't know why that made me think of like, again, this is unlocking a lot where you start thinking back to, I actually think failures are like defining moments of your life. They truly drive you in a better direction or a worse one.
I am so grateful as I'm starting to just go through the Rolodex of failures. Like we have used those as positively defining, not like crippling. Oh my gosh, I ruined everything at that moment, you know?
But I am thinking back only because now us being parents and looking at our kids, a very unique situation that my parents were in with me was a lot of times when I was facing failure, I was not with them. I was somewhere around the world by myself with a team traveling. And I think one of the most beautiful things that maybe my parents were forced to do because of that is they couldn't come save me from it. They were my support system, and they would talk me through, you know, what it was I did or how to get through it or whatever. But then it was, now it's your job to go do it, which taught me so much at such a young age of, I got myself in this and I'm going to have to get myself out. Because I even remember the second grade cheating. My mom had, you know, the big conversation with me, and so did my dad at home. And then I was made to go back in, and I had to talk to the teacher, and I had to talk to every single person that impacted, basically. My mom was not going in to talk.
Yeah.
You know?
That which would be hard as a parent, you know?
It would.
Because we've had an instance where you're trying to call parents and like, you know, try to paint the picture rosy and oh my gosh, apologize on behalf of the family or something like that. We would never. That's not what we do. And maybe there's a time and place for that. But
another one that comes to mind for me, you're going like later in life. I'm working my way there. So next one that felt defining to me was World Championships, gymnastics. I think I've told you the story before. I got there, and summary of the story was like I had qualified to like the medal round of many different apparatuses, but like beam was my best. It was my easiest. as far as like, if I locked in and did it, I was really good. And medal round day, I just got, I don't want to say too confident, but I got too comfortable. And I fell 3 times at the medal round. And it feels different there and it felt different there because, one, it was my mistake, but it did not just affect me because I was there on behalf of our country and I was there on behalf of my team. And World Championships is where you qualify to the Olympics as a country. And so there were like bigger stakes at it. So I wasn't just disappointing myself, I was disappointing the team. And I remember I was a very stoic competitor when it came to like, I didn't show much emotion except when I was done. I was really happy. And within the like stoic training, you were not allowed to show like a lot of emotion. And I remember that was the first time I got down off of my performance and I could see it in my coach's eyes. He was just like, it was just a look. And it was a look of like, yeah, you did that, you know? He didn't have to say anything, but I could see it was like, frick. Yeah. And I remember I just broke. Like he could see I was like breaking. I had like welled up tears in my eyes. And he said, this one was on you. He said, you can go back there. And I remember he pointed, I don't remember where it was. In my brain, it's like under a back stadium or something. He's like, you can go back there. I'll give you 20 minutes. You can go cry, you can do what you need, but then you will come back here and you'll show up for your team on the next one. And it was like I know you're hurting. I know this is a hard lesson. Go feel it. Now come back. And I won the next one.
Okay, can we talk about gifts for a second? Because I feel like we're both at that age where there's always something going on, a wedding, housewarming gifts, somebody's birthday.
And I always want to get something people will actually use instead of something that ends up in a closet. That's why, you guys, Lola blankets have become my default gift. They are
amazing.
Insane.
It's honestly kind of funny because we got one for our house first, and every single person who's come over ends up asking about it. They'll grab it off the couch or porch or something and immediately go, wait, where's this blanket from?
It's one of those products you have to feel to understand. The second someone touches it, they're obsessed. Our kids are literally fighting over them. Jet sleeps with 2 now every single night. They are unbelievably soft and they stretch in literally every direction. And somehow it still looks brand new after washing it. There's no shedding. There's no pilling. It's just one of those things you use literally every single day.
They are quality and they are soft. And I love that it actually looks good too. It doesn't feel like you're throwing a random blanket on the couch. It honestly makes the whole room feel cozier. They have a bunch of different colors and sizes, so it's really easy to gift no matter who you are shopping for.
Plus, there are over 20,000 5-star reviews for a reason. Once someone gets a Lola blanket, they usually end up buying one for someone else as well.
For a limited time, our listeners can get 40% off select Lola blanket products with code EastFam at checkout. Just head to lolablankets.com and use code EastFam.
Again, that's lolablankets.com, code EastFam for 40% off select products. And after you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know we sent you. Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola blankets.
You're going to love them. I love the way you see the world, and you've done such a good job. Just the last 2 examples you gave of failing when your parents aren't around because you're in some foreign country, failing on behalf of your country, you know?
Yeah.
There is a bit of that that's unnatural, and I don't think it would be like you dealt with it about as well as you could.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably too high stakes for the age.
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
And so ideally, like with our kids, hopefully we're able to acclimate them maybe more progressively.
It also makes it interesting for me as a parent because I don't know, because I was introduced and left to deal with probably more than I should have handled at a young age. It makes it hard for me to gauge what is appropriate for our kids.
Fortunately, I think we're both on the same page, though, that we would way rather prepare our kids than protect them.
For sure.
And I think everything from letting them climb the stairs when they're just crawling and not walking and not immediately impulsively pulling them off the stairs.
But also being there next to them.
I think we have done a good job at introducing them to what their limits are and letting them feel that. But hopefully we don't have to throw on them to have them shoulder greater responsibility than is beyond their limits. I know there was some heartbreak through those years as well for you, but okay.
Another one.
One failure that I had, this was back to my rookie year, failing with the Chiefs. And actually my whole professional career, this is kind of the lesson that unfolded, is just not trusting your preparation. I think it's super important that you prepare and that you're the most prepared person. But then I also think that when it's game time or time to execute, like there is a humility to kind of trusting your coaches and also what you've prepared for. You know what I'm saying? I think there needs to kind of be like this release of like, hey, you know what? I don't need to stress now. Like now's not the time to say, oh shoot, we got to change X, Y, and Z, and everything from wearing gloves when I never had to just like overthinking and ruminating on every rep. But the specific moment was that December, I got a call from the Chiefs and the Cardinals after months of free agency. Both of them wanted me to sign. I chose the Seahawks. And fast forward a couple months, the Cardinals snapper got hurt and they signed a different guy and they wanted me, and I kind of took myself out of the pool because I chose a different team. And that failure hurt because I was like, man, my NFL career could have been so much different because, or if I would have chosen the Cardinals instead of the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And I think that failure taught me that you control what you can control. And then there are certain things that are out of your control and you don't beat yourself up over those, you know? And maybe part of that's like a mind game of like, oh, maybe part of that was my responsibility. Certain due diligence things I should have looked into or whatever when I was making that decision. But I think the way I cope with it at least is saying, shoot, well, it's just out of my control. Not necessarily bad luck, but like, dang, there are certain things that are out of my control. And that's okay, you know? That's okay. Keep pressing on. That's what that failure taught me.
It's interesting hearing you say that. Just talking about your NFL and how you paint that picture. We had an interesting experience with one of our kids last night where they were being celebrated by people around them for doing a good job and for working hard. And it was fascinating. We still haven't really figured this out, but it really bothered them, the celebration, to the point of tears.
They got called up to like a new class because they
were doing such a good job.
Yeah.
And we had a big conversation with them about this idea that you don't have to enjoy something. You don't even have to go back. But you should be proud of yourself for your own work, and you should allow people to celebrate you. And you should do that with the NFL, Andrew.
Oh, and I have no regrets looking back. These are the lessons that taught me. No, okay. One thing that we're talking to our child about in that situation was like, God's given you treasures, and when you have appropriate pride in those treasures and you don't hide your light under a bushel, it blesses others, you know? So then we had to talk about humility, and we define it as giving credit where credit's due. It's not pretending like you don't have anything to give credit for, and it's not giving credit to yourself. It's like, hey, yeah, this is a fun talent that I have.
You did a great job in your NFL career.
I appreciate that, babe.
You should.
Thank you.
Celebrate that.
One more each. Yes. You guys have probably heard us rave about Minnow over the years because it's genuinely been one of those subscriptions that we felt great about having from day one.
As parents, it's hard to find content that keeps the kids entertained and aligns with the values we're trying to teach them at home. Minnow has always been one of those rare things we completely trust.
It's the #1 place for Christian content for kids, with hundreds of shows that help kids know and love God and the Bible. Our kids love shows like the Laugh and Grow Bible for Kids. We also love the book itself, the Laugh and Grow Bible. Veggie Tales, Young David, and the Dead Sea Squirrels is the new favorite.
And they just added something we're really excited about, which is a brand new audio experience with over 100 hours of Bible stories, faith-filled adventures, kids, podcasts, and music. It's become such an easy option for car rides, bedtime, quiet time, or any time we're on the go, since it even works with CarPlay, Android Auto, and screen-off listening.
One of the things I appreciate most is that every episode goes through a 50-point review process covering theology, child development, and creative quality. It gives us confidence that what our kids are watching and listening to is actually helping them grow in their faith.
Plus, it's completely ad-free, so we never have to worry about what's popping up next.
If you are looking for something your kids will genuinely love and something you'll feel really good about as a parent, head to gominnow.com and start your free 7-day trial today. That's gominno.com for a 7-day free trial today. We love this company. We have invested a lot in this company over the years with our time and resources, and our kids have loved it. So check it out.
Another failure. I'm going to spin it a little bit.
Okay.
Failing fantastically.
Okay.
I think it kind of plays into the one that you just said. But I remember at my retirement, so my final retirement of gymnastics, I was 19 years old. I was coming off of injuries and surgeries and really kind of butting heads with a lot of like the program and a lot of the process of like competing. I was really trying to like preserve and protect my body and my performance, and like do the best. I was going about it in like a very strategic manner and trying to like do it the right way. I knew how I could train to give the best result and everything. And the failing fantastically, reverse engineering this for this answer, is I was faced for probably the first time in my career with people telling me I had failed them. Does that make sense? I remember very, very clearly having a face-to-face reprimand from someone saying I had failed them and I had failed the team. And I think a failure that you have to learn in life is that, and knowing if it's accurate or not. And I remember, maybe because of like the failures that I had gone through and the self-reflection of like what we're talking about, of going through the second grade failure and the world championship failure and all these things, and having to self-reflect and be like, what did I do? How can I own it? How can I change it? And how I can get better? It was the first time I was faced with someone saying I had failed, and I knew they were wrong. And I think all of those failures had kind of led me to a point where I could not necessarily absorb it, but listen to it. And in my heart be like, I think this is your failure right now. And maybe one you're going to have to reflect on someday. But I remember just standing there and thinking, you know what? I have done everything I can up until this point, and I know I'm not wrong. And I didn't have to say it, and I didn't say it. But I remember being really proud of being able to feel that and know this is not my failure.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a fine line because it can come off as defiant or stubborn or self-assured.
Yes.
In certain situations. And I think a lot of people, I don't know, like online gurus will say, oh, you just got to like, don't let anybody tell you what to do. It's your life. You call the shots. I don't like that perspective on life because I think coaches, mentors, parents, teachers all have a wonderful perspective. And that's a fragile relationship because sure, they're imperfect and they might be guiding you wrong, and heaven forbid they are. But like, I agree. That's part of growing up, is like understanding that it's not defiance, it's conviction and where you're headed and what you need to do. But it's fragile because you're like, for one person in one situation, it might be totally different for another person in another situation.
Absolutely.
But I respect how you went about it. Again,
Yeah.
I love this conversation.
This is great.
I'll end with a dumb one.
Okay.
In high school, I had just signed my scholarship offer with Vandy. Had this dream come true. This is a pattern in my life, I think. It's like I don't take it easy, and I
really
in some ways can self.
It's kind of like your first Washington Commanders practice where the night before you run a marathon.
We can talk about that. Yeah. That should make the list too.
Yeah.
Just signed my scholarship offer, and months earlier, my high school friends and I had buried a time capsule in the soccer field.
Andrew.
And so this was like literally
This is when
weeks.
this happened?
Yeah. And so we go middle of the night, and we're like,
oh my God.
we have to dig up this time capsule. Which I think it was our intention to leave it there for a couple of years, but we were just so excited to see what we put in there. And so we go out there, jump this fence in our high school, get our shovels, dig it up. It was snowing. There's mud prints everywhere. Like you could see clear as day where we were. We dig it up, come back all sloshy, muddy, and broke the box. So the time capsule was ruined. I think we had a Harry Potter poster in there and a CD and whatever. And a cop was waiting for us out there. Oh my gosh. I thought I was going to jail. And I almost did.
Why?
Almost did. If it wasn't for the grace and generosity of several other people in my life, the cop would have been way shorter patience with me. But he talked to, I think, a teacher. Might have talked to my mom. This is at like 2 a.m.
What's also hysterical is like in the grand scheme of things, you hopped a fence to a football field and dug up a time capsule that had a Harry Potter poster.
Yeah, it's so Andrew. It's so Andrew coded.
But also so childish where it's like, why would any cop ever want to take you to jail?
Well, because we were, trespassing. I think the lesson that I learned from that, though, is
to abide by
not
the
everything's
law.
a game. Playfulness is one of our family values.
Have you learned this yet?
Sometimes I overdo it.
Oh, wow.
And I don't mean it disrespectfully when I'm treating things as a game, but it can definitely come off like that.
You mean
and sometimes
everything's
illegally.
a suggestion?
I am for sure an ask for forgiveness rather than permission type of guy.
Even as it pertains to
That's
the
not
law?
always the best strategy. Not always the best strategy. So anyway.
This has been fun.
Yeah, I love this conversation.
Also, absolutely loved talking to Laila and Celestina. If you all are parents out there and have some kids, Gabbys Dollhouse has a wonderful script and narrative to it. And we are really excited for season 14 to come out on September 14th on Netflix. So highly recommend you tune in.
Yeah. So far, the episodes have all been about Gabby and her cats, and now Gabby's younger sister,
Doozie,
and her dogs are a part of the show. So check that out. I also am curious what one failure is that you are grateful for listening, that you would have maybe never chosen to have that failure happen in the moment. But let us know in the comments or DMs or emails. We love checking those out. And onwards. Thanks for listening. I'm Andrew.
I'm Shawn.
Till next time.